everyone, it's Robin the Artsy Bohemian coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. I'm going to continue with what we started last Tuesday and finish the stacked pocket page. So this is what I did was I just kind of went through and pinned down places that I'm going to be gluing things so I could show you. I mean, it's not I guess I just wanted to show you my thought process. It's not hard, but I had done probably about half of this from the last video, the construction. So I just thought I would finish it up and we can move on. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you what you'll need for the next tutorial, which will be the painting in the old textbook. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably have a link or a time mark if you want to just skip ahead to that. So okay, so I still wanted to use a lot of the scraps that I have, so that's kind of what I did. I just like went through and just grabbed some scraps that I thought that might work to add to this. And I'm just going to start gluing things down and show you where I cut some of the envelopes so that they can be used as an insert pocket. So let's see. Okay, so this is the first one. Literally, I just so this one I slit the top. I just cut the top open here, and this is where the pocket actually opens, the envelope opens, but we're going to close that up with glue and just some decorative cardstock. Again, I really am trying to use my scraps. I don't know if you're the same way, where you just have bags, that Ziploc bags and envelopes that are just full of scraps. That's just going to go on there, and that's going to be a pocket to put tags or whatever you want to put in there. And I was going to attempt to stamp with some really old stamps. They don't work all that great anymore, but we'll see. And just put the word note on here with some black ink. I have had these stamps forever and they are kind of getting hard, so we'll see. They work great for clay, if you work with clay. So I wouldn't throw them out if I were you, if you want to play with clay, but we'll see. Yeah, they're pretty bad. I put a little N there just to see if it worked, and kind of works, but not too bad. So this is just another, if you have rubber stamps, this is a great way to make it look a little different. I don't have my cleaning pad, so I'm just going to stick them back in here. And for those of you who don't know, these are just things that you can get in the rubber stamp section or online. Some of the hobby stores have rubber stamps still, not very many, but yeah, so that's not too bad. And the ink pads you can get as well in the craft section of most stores. So that just adds a little interest. I don't know, I might stamp a little bit more. Maybe I'll stamp some flowers down there. Kind of left a shadow, but that's because I stamped it on some because this is kind of lifted up. So that's that one. And then, so moving on to the next envelope here, I had cut open this envelope on the long side like this, and I'm going to make this into a pocket. I believe this is from the Graphics Fairy, this image. But first I'm going to add some fabric. This was from a couple of tutorials ago where I just lined some altered some file folders with some fabric. So I'm going to just cut this. And you can use this as a tab, so I'll probably use this as a tab for something. And I'm just going to glue this down. And I'm going to leave it over just a little just to give it a decorative edge. And then glue down this to make a pocket. So there'll be 2 pockets. We love pockets, don't we? And then it's going to go here. So I had mentioned that for those of you who subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. So if you watch my tutorials and you like what you see, but you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon. I post something every Tuesday, usually a tutorial, not all the time. And I'm going to have a giveaway once I reach the 10,000 mark, and it's going to be a good one. So yeah, thanks for all the wonderful comments, the sweet comments. Your ideas and your suggestions for what you want to see for tutorials really help out. So that's another little pocket there. And then this opens. Oh, that's a little bit more than I wanted, but that's okay. And this opens here too. So we have all these cute little pockets. So here's some more scraps. This is the junk mail that I had coffee dyed and added, and I did cut it here. When I first put it together, I didn't know where I was going to cut it. So I cut it on the side, and I'm going to just add some more of the paper as we go along here. Not rocket science, but I know some of you really like these videos. I do too, just to kind of craft along. I'm not necessarily paying attention sometimes, but it's just nice to kind of craft along with other people, right? Get your mind off of things and just have some fun. And every once in a while you might pick up a little tip that might be different. Again, this was not my idea. This whole thing was from 2 videos I had seen on YouTube, and I left the links for the gals on my last tutorial, so you can check that out. So this is some scrap paper. Oops, I think I was going to put that down first, but that's okay. This is from some old wallpaper. So I think I'm going to do that. It was from a wallpaper sample book, and this is where all these parts that are kind of open like that is where it was stapled in to this ginormous wallpaper sample book that I was given years ago. And I dismantled it and made little bundles, little packets that I sold a couple weeks ago. And of course I kept all of these pieces because they're so precious. They're so old. And I thought I could make some stuff with them. So kind of using them up. And yeah, they're good for collage, right? They're super fragile and brittle. So they're not of much use for anything that you're going to be opening or closing. But for collage, they work pretty good. So that's going to go there. And then, let's see, maybe I'll do, I have these little pieces here too that I just keep, see, like that looks kind of cute right there. I think I'll do that. This is also just a piece of the wallpaper. And I just used some pinking shears to cut the part of it for some added interest. Let's see, what am I going to do over here? So here's the pocket, and this is going to be closed. I'm going to think about this a little bit more. I had already cut this piece here, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Maybe I'll use this on the other side. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Just got to go for it sometimes. If you think about it too much for things, it just takes forever. And usually I have found that my first instinct is usually pretty spot on. Not all the time. And if it isn't, then you can just cover it up with something else. So it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to glue this down here. Again, these are just scraps. And I'm going to kind of glue this closed. It's going to be closed up anyway, but this is just extra. Just want to make sure that it'll be able to bend there. Let's see, I think I'll do that side. So if you want to see how I made this, I did a tutorial last Tuesday. I will leave a link below. And it's just a fun addition to add to a junk journal, or you can do it on its own. There was a gal that mentioned how she liked this because she doesn't always have time to make a full journal, and this is, but she wants to make something, and so this is a good alternative. So it's going pretty good here. I already glued those down. And that goes like that, or this. I think it goes like this. So go ahead and glue this down. These were, this is some of that old fabric. I also left a resource for you on that a couple weeks ago. A gal from, and I cut this open up on the top, I think. Yeah, on the top. So I'll be covering this up and gluing that down a little bit just so it doesn't open, and I'm going to be covering it with this and this too. So this gal lives in the UK, and she has beautiful vintage fabrics, and I bought a few bundles from her because it's difficult now to find the really old kind of fashion looking floral cotton fabrics. They used to be pretty abundant, but not so much anymore. And she just had just a really way that she packaged everything, and her prices are pretty good, and Bought a few bundles, like I said. Make sure that closes. And then this is going to go here, and then I'm going to put, this is a piece of that fabric that I'm going to use as a tab here. So I was trying to think how I could tell you how I put my colors together, because obviously they're not, everything isn't real color coordinated, but somehow it seems to go together. And I guess, you know, whatever you have in your stash you probably like, and so go with the things that you like as a starting point, and usually things will kind of start matching up, even if they don't seem to in the beginning. That's that. And then this is just something I got from Tuesday morning. It's a, you know, like a journaling card. So I'm going to put that on top of there. I might leave a paper clip on there. Yeah, one trick too is not to put the glue all the way to the edges. It just makes it easier to take things in and out of the envelope. And then this way it doesn't cover, I like the words here, so that'll keep that way. Oh, and I'm gonna glue that down because this opens here. I'll be adding some lace here. Glue this down. This goes here. And maybe I'll add some more of this. That's kind of cool. I like that. This is just some more of that wallpaper that I am reusing. Very old. It's from the 30s. I mean, there is a bit of a theme going on here. There's a lot of florals, you know, vintage images, the things that, you know, that I tend to love all the time. And, yeah, I think if you just pull out the things that you are always drawn to, the images, the colors, even though there is kind of a mishmash of things, everything will start coming together. And well, that'll be cute right there. This is just from a music book. I just didn't want to throw away the titles. They were kind of cool. One of the things that you can always make know that will work is music paper or vintage text will kind of pull things together if you're stumped for ideas on what to do, because it's not it doesn't take away from your design. I think it just kind of adds to it, and it just kind of makes everything cohesive. So did I cut this one open? I don't think I cut this one open. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to slice this on the side here so it'll open. Unless I did it already. Did I do it already? No, I don't think I did. So that's what you're going to do on most all of the envelopes anyway, is just make a tiny little cut, a sliver of a cut here. So that you can put little notes in here. You have to glue the other side down. Let's see, what can I put here? Isn't that pretty? This is from My Porch Print. She has these adorable fussy cut nautical themed prints, and I love these because you don't necessarily have to be into mermaids. You could cut part of it off if you wanted to, and just use the upper half of the body. I just thought they were so pretty. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do this with digitals, making these vintage images into mermaids like this, as pretty as this anyway. So maybe I'll add her. And then I was going to put something there. Almost done here. Taking this and flipping it over, it kind of gives it a little interest if it's too long. Make sure it's not gonna make it so that it won't close. I like that. Yeah, and if you just grab your scraps and limit what you have so that you don't have a ton to choose from, everything kind of works out. So I like that. I like the way that looks too. And I'm gonna, so this is the inside of all of these layers. So it's going to look like, I think like this, no, opposite, like this. I think that's how I had it. So that's the cover of the book. You could, like I said, you can make this into its own journal. And but this is, like I had said before, this is going to be part of a larger journal. It's going to be a signature, but you could make it a journal on its own. And then these are papers from My Porch Prints that you can print out double-sided. And they were a little too white for me, so I tea stained them, or actually I coffee dyed them with spritzer. And I really like the way they came out, so I decided I'm going to use them in this journal as signatures when I actually put everything together. So just that's just something that we'll be doing towards the end of making this journal complete. So anyway, a couple of other things, then we'll be done. So this opens. I'm going to be putting lace, trimming everything with lace. This is, I'm probably going to do a pocket here. This is also from my Porch Prints. And I think I'm going to curve the edges here. Probably put some lace on this too. So these are cute. They come like this, and you print them out. I printed it out on some parchment cardstock, like 110-pound weight, and then you fold it and you have an instant pocket. See here. It's cute. And I think I might do something over here. So you can see, you could just keep adding and adding and adding stuff if you want. Now I'm going to add some lace to the edges. So I'm just going to cut some of this lace and then glue it. Let's see, where do I want to put lace? I think I'll put some here, maybe. Yeah, I'll do that. And then some lace on the back here. Put some here. So I like the way that this piece of fabric on this side kind of sticks out on this side, so it looks like it kind of coordinates. And let's see here, like this. Just kind of keep putting lace on everything. Kind of pulls it all together. You could do the same thing with just strips of fabric or strips of scrapped pieces of paper. Like, you know, when you do a cut with, what are they called? Oh, like this. So when you use your punch and make a really pretty edging, there's usually leftovers, so you could do that with instead of lace if you don't have lace. And I think I'm gonna put some maybe I'll put some sari. Just have to be careful that you don't bulk everything up too much. So you got to use really thin laces and thin fabrics if you have the fabrics. This goes here, so I think what I'll do on this one is this is where I will use the, yeah, like that. The trim off part of the punch. Liking the weights coming out. I think I'll stamp on here. Maybe I'll stamp on one of these. These are nice because they're not shiny. I like that. So maybe I'll do pink. I think I'm going to do black because I want to put this rubber stamp on there, and I only have this one here. That'll fit it. Yeah, the nice thing about these not being glossy is they dry fairly quick. If you use glossy cardstock with rubber stamping, you have to use a certain type of ink, otherwise it doesn't really dry. So text is another thing, along with music paper that you can't go wrong with. If you feel like your piece needs to have a little extra something, either rubber stamping it. If you have beautiful handwriting, do that. Cut out, you know, words from an old book or something you can even print something out and then cut it out. So those are kind of things that I've been using for years to just add the finishing touch, you know. And I feel like I need a little extra something here. Let's see. Well, I think I'll just add some more lace. Nope, I don't like that. I might just leave it like that. So we have that. I'm gonna do something extra here too. And then also, working on camera, you have to kind of think on your feet too. So you don't want to I mean, it takes a while to put these tutorials together anyway. So working with a stack of things that you have at your fingertips makes you think quickly. So that's not closed up yet. I have to close that. And also, for those of you who are new, I teach online classes in my style of bohemian, I call it unconventional bohemian crafting. And I'll leave a link down below if you want to check out my catalog of courses. I have about 8 of them now. I have a very popular junk journal course, and it has over 20 hours of content, and you have everything in one place, so you don't have to look, you know, for hours and hours on the internet trying to figure out how to make a junk journal. So it's a really comprehensive course, and I know I teach lots of things here on my YouTube channel, but none of what I teach here, none of the tutorials I have here are in that course. So it's all new stuff. Okay, I think I'm done. I will probably keep maybe adding a little bit more stuff here and there, but that is the gist of making one of these adorable stacked envelope pages. So I'll show you one more time how it works here. I know I'm probably forgetting something, but I think that's good. Yeah, I'm going to add one more little thing down here. Yeah, just covering up the junk mail, it's just like little bits of scraps will make it look kind of cool. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to add some lace there. Something there. What about this? I kind of like that. I'm gonna cut it down though. I love chartreuse, the color chartreuse, and I love cabbage roses. I think I'll do that. This is very, very thin, so I'm able to get away with it. Any thick, bulky trims will just make it almost impossible to close this, so just think of that if you're adding fabrics and laces. That looks cool on the other side too. Let's see, we'll do that there. Just using up the scraps. Use the scraps, girls. Yeah, I'm liking this. It's coming together. Little scrap by scrap. So this is all covered up now. It is just pieces of scrap that I've patchworked together on here, and I'm gonna add lace. You guys like what I did with my scissors? The Posca, I think it's called Posca. They're Japanese permanent markers, and I just colored it with lots of flowers. Posca. Yeah, I'll probably be giving away, when I reach 10,000 subscribers, some really cool vintage laces and maybe a journal, I'm not sure. Might do like one of those cool bundles that I've made in the last few months for one of y'all as a giveaway, as my appreciation for watching and getting me to this point. And it won't say giveaway. I'm only doing it for those people who actually watch my videos. When I do the giveaway anyway. It's only going to be for the loyal girls that watch. Cute. Love it. Yeah. Cute. Nice coming together. Let's see, do I have a stamp in here? Okay, so I better wrap this up. It's getting to be quite a long video because I want to show you the things that you'll want to have on hand for the next video. Kind of like homework gathering supplies. I had quite a few of you who really liked the paintings that I had done in the old books, so I'll show you again what that is for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to have a tutorial on how to do that. I'm actually going to have 3 ways to do it, so you don't have to know how to paint. I'm going to show you a quick method to paint and draw in the books, and then I'm also going to show you stenciling companies that have faces and also rubber stamps, so that you can use those and still kind of do a little bit of watercolor around them to make them, you know, kind of a hybrid of painting in your journal. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really like the way it came out. I like all the layers. I like how eclectic it is, and I think that it came out cute. So that goes like this. This, so have to be careful nothing sticks together. This, oh, I keep doing that. Oh well. There we go. So that is that, and like I said, I will be using the My Porch Prints papers that I coffee dyed in here. These are just old pages from a book of different fonts that I'll be adding to that. And then this whole thing will go inside of a journal cover, which I will be showing you how to do once I have all the signatures ready. They're almost ready to go. And I'll leave links down below for that whole series of different signatures that I did. So this is the book that I had drawn in that you guys liked. So wanted to show you what I use for painting. It's nothing fancy. You don't have to have anything fancy. It's just things that I use. Even if you have children's watercolor, you can use that. But this is the book. It's just an old book that I started painting in. And I took an online class with Tony Burt, I believe her name is. And I like her style. It's very loose and it's very quick. So that's kind of what I was basing it off of. And I liked how when I painted it, there were words for each chapter that kind of told a story about the painting. So it's what I'm going to be showing you is more like this style, just because it's easier. We're not going to go into like painting, but it's more like a kind of a whimsical approach to portraits, like this one here too. So what I like to use is a barrel paint watercolor brush. These are awesome because they screw open and you just fill the barrel with water. I'll leave a link down below. I bought these a long time ago. These are by Pentel, but I'm sure there's other brands that you can get. They're pretty, a lot of people use them. They're great because, and I'll show you this when I do the tutorial, but you don't have to have a separate well of water to keep washing your brush off. If you just have regular paint brushes, you can use that too. Just you want to use something that's smaller. And then the watercolors I use are from Jane Davenport. I like them because they're small and portable, and I literally sometimes just while I'm watching TV will use these because, again, I don't need to have water. It's already inside of this barrel, and I'll just clean it off. And these are so small that that they're portable. They're like a travel size. And I think there's other places or names or brands that you can use. I have the cool tones and the earth tones, so it's not a huge, watercolor palette, but it's enough. It works. So they open up, oops, like this, and you can see where I've used this to mix my colors. And then she has this cute, and I think you can get this with most of the little travel watercolor palettes, is you make the colors for each one of the palettes here, which are probably all mixed up. And so this is the cool tones. See how cute that is? And then this just, you can hold it like this if you wanted to. And this is the earth tones, the neutral palette she calls it. And I will try to put a link down. I don't know if these are still available. I bought them a couple of years ago, but I'll leave a link for something that's similar if I can. And a pencil, just a regular number 2 pencil. because we're going to do a really light outline of the drawing, and then some kind of permanent fine tipped black pen, because I usually go over, I didn't go over on this one, but like this one here, I did do a little outline once the painting was done. And I did use a white, like a Uniball white gel pen to do a little bit of the highlights. Okay, so I will see you guys with your paintbrushes ready to go. Get an old book, and we'll have some fun painting. Thanks for watching. Bye.